PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Over the last couple of weeks, we've talked about digitally exposing yourself, to put yourself out in front of a total stranger so that when you finally meet in person, that person's a lot more comfortable with you. They know a little bit about your background. They know about your skill level. They know what you look like, your mannerisms, your characteristics, which makes all the sense in the world. I know some people will listen to this and still not react to it. If I grabbed a hold of somebody that's in the sales game, no matter what they sell, and I take them to a restaurant within 5 miles of where they work, would everybody in the restaurant know who they are? And are you willing, now watch this, are you willing to walk into a restaurant and say, hey, I sell Toyotas for a living. If anybody's interested in a Toyota, I'll be eating right over here. And for the majority of people in the world, they would never do that. But for me, I have no problem with it. I've talked to salespeople all over the country, and I try to wear, my Toyota clothes. Today I'm wearing my BMW stuff because some of you know that I ride motorcycles. I'll wear my Toyota stuff on the airplane. Somebody will go, you work for Toyota? And we'll have a 4.5 hour conversation about why Toyota's the best product out there. What are they driving? How can I get them a Toyota? I've sold multiple vehicles on airplane rides because I'm willing to have a conversation. Work life is extremely important. There's two ways to work. And you can add stuff to these two ways, but there's two main ways. You can go to work, you can decide, commit, and succeed and go to that next level of the job, or use that job as a springboard to another job and continue to climb the ladder of either income or success. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you decide and what you commit to. But the other side of that would be showing up. And for the majority of people in America, they show up to work. They pay their bills, they show up to work, and they're not looking to go to that next level. Or, man, once you hit a plateau, then the next thing that happens is you start blaming. I'm not getting this because of this person. The people that work underneath me don't do their job. The person that's above me doesn't know what they're doing. And it's funny because the day you started a job, you interviewed for a job, you wanted the job, and you get a call back and you get the job, you are super stoked about that job and the opportunity that job will provide you. And a few short years later, you're complaining about everything that goes on around you, and everybody else is complaining, and all of a sudden you're in this black cloud of, I'm never going to grow. The first thing you need to do is you need to get that off of you. You need to decide that no longer, or am I looking at the negative? I'm always looking at the positive. Very tough to do. I'm not saying this is easy, but I'm saying if you don't look at the positive side, the negative side is going to win. Turn the news on. They'll try to turn you negative. It doesn't matter what news or what your philosophies are. It's all about the other guy is the bad guy. The other gal is the bad gal. That's what it is. If you don't believe this way, you're an idiot. If you don't believe this way, you're a moron. And so it's crazy. The world tries to control your thoughts, and they don't want you to be happy. I don't know what's wrong with people. Being happy is a lot better than being miserable and realizing that there's nothing you can do about it. There is something you can do about it. So in your work life, you can decide. Once you decide what you're going to do, then commit. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it does. All of a sudden somebody realizes that you really want to go to the next level and everything, and there you go. All they wanted to do was see that sign from you. They've been watching you, and they're ready for you to make a move. Once you make the move, they're going, where you been? I've been waiting for 2 years for you to come up and do this. Sometimes it takes forever. You know what? But if you're going to be there, and that's your source of income, and you're going every day, why not decide and commit to going to that next level? And then the success comes. I'm so easy. I mean, some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm easy. I can mow my backyard. And when I get through mowing my backyard, I can look at that and go like, dang, that looks good. I mean, I'm happy with the result. It doesn't take a whole lot to make me happy. I've been with Toyota my whole adult life. Some of you know that I ride motorcycles as that relief. I've got a job. I do the best I can with the job, and I try to get everybody to that next level. That's what I do for a living. But on my spare time, on my away time, I've owned 22 Harley Davidsons. I've ridden everything that Harley makes, and really happy with the product. There's nothing wrong with the product. The noise, the of a Harley. It's unmatched by anybody else. And there's a culture when you're riding a Harley Davidson. It's a giant culture. It changes the way people process. They walk out, they get on their motorcycle, they actually become a different person. It's very interesting. I've ridden almost all 50 states on a motorcycle. I've done back roads, twisty roads, mountain passes, and I try to stay off the interstate. But I want to see that part of America that a lot of people don't see. Instead of 4 hours down the interstate, do 7 hours back roads, and it's amazing the places you can eat, the people you can meet. Anyway, you get it. So that's kind of my relief, and it clears me up for the next day that I have to go to work and try to help somebody. So that's what I do. But I got introduced to heavy duty adventure bike, almost 800-pound bikes off-road. Now, dirt bikes as a child, a lot of people did that. And they're so light, and so you can go anywhere on a little dirt bike. But now when you're on a bike that's that heavy and you're traversing sand or rocks or washouts and everything, it is, well, first of all, you learn how to fall. And I'm not bragging about that. I do not like to have a motorcycle on the ground, but when you start riding big ADVs off-road, you're going to go down. You're going to go down in the sand. You're going to go down in the mud. It's very irritating. You have to pick your bike up. And that's just part of it. But now I've discovered parts of the United States of America that I know very few people have seen. It's crazy. If you get a dirt road or a forest road or something, they're usually cut right along a stream. So water features, waterfalls, running, babbling brooks and streams, and it's amazing. And that's what I do to commit to relieving myself from the pressures of every day. So I decided that I was going to be a BMW GSA rider. I bought a Ducati Desert X. My wife started riding about almost 10 years ago, and she's ridden all over the world, and she is a phenomenal rider. But both of us now have moved to dirt, and we're not phenomenal. I'll tell you a story. It's a quick story. So I went to an ADV training camp, and they have all kinds of little things you can really mess up on and really prove to yourself that you really cannot ride a motorcycle anywhere except for asphalt. That is very clear, very simple. And then there's people around you that it's like second nature. It's like the motorcycle is a part of them, and you're going like, how is that possible? So we are at the very beginning level of this. So at the end of this Olympics, they had an Olympics, you did all these little things and they timed you and you got points for everything. The guy that was running the class is very, very stoic, an amazing motorcycle rider, Dustin Coyne. And he's up there and he's giving out trophies and awards for people that won the different categories of this Olympics. And I had raised my hand and I said, hey, Dustin, a real good question. Honestly now, and I'm being very serious and everybody around me is being quiet and everything. I said, after today, how close am I to participating in the BMW GS Trophy off-road competition? And he looked at me and his eyes got so big. He did not want to burst my bubble because I was being as serious as I possibly can. I was waiting for the answer and he went, Casey, you're not close. And everybody started laughing and everything, and he didn't really get it and everything. I was the furthest away from any kind of competitive off-road stuff. But it's so funny that I gave it a shot. And I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna experience more things because my ride level is gonna increase. But that's something I'm doing because I'm challenging myself. If in life you challenge yourself, if you decide, okay, this is the next chapter. It could be off-road rock crawling in an off-road FJ Cruiser, a Jeep or something like that. I can see why people do that. People go out and paddleboard in the open ocean. And, they're out there paddleboarding and there's dolphins and porpoises jumping all around them, or they're out with the whales, or somebody scuba diving, or man, this latest parachuting, and I don't even know what it's called, but when you're on a parasail and they're flying so close to the ground and it's all mountainous and rocky, and they're inches off the ground. People have pushed themselves to limits that in the past weren't even available. And this is everyday type of people that have come to the level of that next level of challenge. So I guess in culmination, sit down for a second and figure out whether it's your work life or your family life or your adventurous side. What are the things you want to accomplish? Life doesn't go on forever. The older you get, the greater your limitations. And I'll just be honest with you. Nobody at 25 years old ever thinks there's ever going to be a limitation. Nobody. I don't, even if you're somebody that doesn't really challenge yourself, they just doesn't feel like there's ever going to be any limitations in life. But as you start to get older, there are physical and mental limitations. And there's only a very small window of time in your life that you can challenge yourself and at the end of the day be rewarded. I'm easy. I'm easy. Most of you, I'm easy. I go mow my backyard, and after I mow my backyard, I look at that and I go, dang, that looks good. I'm motivated about the way my lawn looks. I'm a very positive person in a very negative world. It's very interesting to me. I made a statement the other day. I was at a dealership early in the morning. I walked up to an associate at the dealership, and I said, good morning. It was just a good morning. I was right, good morning, right? And the person turned around and looked at me and go, I'm not much of a morning person. And I've said that on one of the videos before. And I'm still struggling with that. That was the response to somebody with an upbeat attitude saying good morning. And their response was, there's no such thing as a good morning. I don't want to have a good morning. I want to be in a bad mood. I'm prepared to be in a bad mood. I'm pissed off. Everything in my life sucks. And I do not want your happiness around me. And I'm going like, wow. Hey gang, do me a favor. How do we fix that? How do we take this amazing place we live and we turn this into a community where people help each other, not where people have barriers that nobody else belongs except for one group and everything. We are one group. We're one group. Don't let somebody take your joy away. So let's finish up one more time. Decide on anything. Work, family, activity, doesn't matter. Something. Then commit to it. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Hey, listen, if you're at a job and you decide and commit to something, that the boss comes up to you and you go, I've been waiting 2 years to 2 years for you to show me this right here. Let's go. Next day you got a promotion and everything. You didn't know that was available. Or maybe it takes you 10 years to get that promotion. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're moving forward in a very positive manner and then succeed. And it doesn't matter how big or small the success is. I just told you I feel like I've had a success every time I mow my lawn. And the great thing about it is if enough water's on my lawn, I'll get to mow it again. And so find that joy in your life. And I can't force you to do that. I can't. I try to encourage people all the time because if you walk in with a joyous attitude and you're motivated and you're happy and you're upbeat, that people will respond to that. If everything in your life is beyond your control because you're blaming everybody else because of your bad breaks and everything, it's going to be really hard to rise to that next level. Find somebody else, bring them with you. It's always good with company. Go to the next level. Let's just count it out. Go to the gym, get back in shape. Some people need to do that. Buy that off-road vehicle and find a group and go off-roading. Get a paddleboard, go to a lake, a river, or the ocean. Learn how to scuba dive. Jump out of an airplane. It doesn't matter. It's a very short window of life we have. And I'm telling you once again, at 20 to 25 years old, you don't think life will ever end. But as you get older and everything, don't ever look back and go, I wish I would have. If I would have just started. If I could have, don't do that to yourself. Stop. Think about what you're doing right now. Write it down on a piece of paper. Show it to somebody else to prove to them this is where you're going, and then get there. PK52, the Saturday morning meeting.